Welcome to Double Take Dave, episode 4. This is your host, David Roberts. Let's get this party started.
It's Double Take Dave. It's Double Take Dave. It's Double Take Dave. Dave's Dive In.
It's only right that I talk about Kobe Bean Bryant today. It would have been his 42nd birthday today. What a legend. I could talk about Kobe for an hour if I wanted to, but I'm going to keep it short. There's so many memories of him. I'm sure everybody has one specific memory. One game in particular I have a memory of, it was against the Denver Nuggets. It was 2003. I was 12 years old. I remember watching this game vividly, staying up late, and they inbounded the ball. Kobe got on top of the key and did one of his moves like this and shot right over John Barry for the win. And here's the clip where you'll see it. It was magical.
George, it will be Devin George to pull the trigger. On the sideline just in front of us. Battling for position down inside. Nene is fronting Shaquille O'Neal. Kobe pops out. Kobe's going to go. Couple of left-handed dribbles. Has a look at it. The Lakers win!
Wasn't that amazing? I mean, I get chills watching that. So let's talk about his beginning of his career. Remember he played the Utah Jazz early, and he wanted to be the assassin early, and he had those air balls early against the Utah Jazz, and everyone was calling him like a bust. People were saying Iverson's going to be better. Yeah, that really happened. And everyone looks pretty dumb that said that, because he was the opposite of that. He was literally a mirror image of Michael Jordan. He wanted to copy him in every move. He was an assassin, the Black Mamba. He would just kill you. He would take your soul and just rip it open. If you were down 2 and you needed one stop, Kobe would make it, and it would be a 4 or 5 point game, and you would even have a chance. The saddest thing about Kobe is even when his career was over, he won an Oscar. Who wins 5 NBA championships and wins an Oscar? I know, Kobe Bryant. God bless you, Kobe. God bless your family. You'll always be remembered. I do not like the Lakers. I hated playing you, but it doesn't matter who you were a fan of. Everyone respected and loved Kobe Bean Bryant.
Dave's Breakdown.
So last night, the Lakers beat the Blazers 116-108, and AD had 29 points in the whole game and dominated in the fourth quarter. And LeBron did his thing last night. But I kind of just want to talk about AD and what he did last night, that needs to be a consistent thing. So let's talk about the all-time greats, guys like MJ, Kobe. So when they were in a situation in close games, they went to their teammates and they said, we need 3 straight stops. And we're going to score 3 straight trips, whether that's a 2, a 3, getting to the line, whatever it is. That's what greats do. They suck the life out of the other team. You got to have that mentality. And that's what AD did last night in LeBron. So all duos, Pippen, Jordan, Shaq, Kobe, Wade, LeBron, they're consistent and they count on each other to dominate. And what you saw last night is why Blazers won't have a chance. Because if they could continue to doing that, they could even beat the Clippers if they do that. They got to impose their will. And like I said, suck the life out of the other team. AD has to be that consistently. They're not just like great players. They're superstars. They got to choke the life out of the other team. LeBron brought AD to Lakers for a reason. There's no more excuses for AD. He's not with the Pelicans. He's with the Lakers, with LeBron James. So he has to deliver. And I hope what he did last night, he could continue to do it. Because if he does, it will be amazing and that will go really far. But like I said, suck the life out of the other team. You got to demand what you want and you got to take what's yours.
Dave's Corner.
My next guest is Ryan Kravick. Knew him for a long time with mutual friends. Met him at Texas Tech. I think everybody in the world knows what Texas Tech is now because of this guy named Patrick Mahomes. No one really did before, but we either were playing beer pong, drinking, or watching sports. And those are the only 2 things we cared about, or arguing about the Chiefs-Broncos back in the day when I actually had leverage. Now I don't. What's up, Ryan? How you doing?
Doing well, Dave. Thanks for having me.
Of course. How's quarantine treating you?
Oh, it's not too bad. I mean, I've been playing so much golf just because there's not been a lot of sports to watch, so might as well go out and do something. And my golf game's gotten somewhat better, no, other than that, just trying to take it one day at a time, really, just like everyone else.
It's much better that there's sports. It makes it much easier for us.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. No, it makes the time.
Oh yeah. Thank God. Which one are your favorite Texas Tech memories that you can share with everybody? I know you have a lot. It could be sports. It could be partying. Whatever you want. Just keep it PG.
Well, of the ones that I can remember, I don't know. I think, man, there's so many. I mean, obviously, I think you could just overall just say being able to watch Mahomes in college, I mean, it was amazing. At the time too, it was just he didn't really get that much hype because everyone thinks, and it's unfair now too because everyone, you mentioned Texas Tech and they immediately think, oh, it's a system quarterback. Well, everyone's running that same system nowadays too. So, it was really unfair. And then they had a terrible defense too. But, just being able to watch him and, just the plays that he made in college, we knew that we had something special on our hands. It obviously came out to fruition.
Exactly.
As well.
So what made you a Chiefs fan? I got to know exactly. Because you're from Dallas. You didn't choose the Cowboys. What made you choose the Kansas City Chiefs? And by the way, guys, this is a loyal Chiefs fan. This isn't a guy who just been a fan since Mahomes. He was a fan with them when 4 years ago your receivers only had 0 touchdowns the whole year, or So this guy's guy.
You love to bring that up.
Hey, I got it a little bit.
Bring that up.
But yeah, tell the audience.
Yeah. So it's a really stupid story. I'll just go ahead and put that out front. But basically, I grew up in Dallas. But my dad was, as you know, is a Raiders fan. He grew up in Southern California and always, loved the teams that my dad loved growing up too. I think that's pretty natural. And so I was never a Raiders fan because the Raiders, as we know, were pretty shitty. Besides that, that one Super Bowl that they went to, they got destroyed. So I didn't really have a team growing up, an NFL team. I just, played fantasy football. But then one day, this was back in January of 2011, I was just like, I kind of want to become a fan of an NFL team. And I was playing online Madden, and I was playing against the Chiefs. And I was like, I was getting killed. And I was like, I kind of like this team. So I was like, why not? Let's become a fan of the team, see where it goes. First year they go 7-9. Not a great. I mean, they actually had a shot. You remember that game they had.
I remember.
Such a hard game to watch. And then the next year, they go 2-14. I mean, it was just one of the worst. And I couldn't ever watch the games either. I would always have to listen to it. Mitch Holthus on the radio on my phone. And obviously too, they were so bad that they weren't getting any primetime games. But then the next year after that, we hired Andy Reid, and ever since then, I mean, it's been amazing.
Hey,
so
I know when you got Andy Reid, I was like, ugh. So when you drafted Mahomes, I mean, first of all, I can't even imagine your favorite player in college goes to your favorite team. I'm sure that's so powerful.
Yeah,
I'm sure you thought he was going to be good, but when did you think he was going to be like when was the moment when you were like, oh, we got something?
And I promise I'm not. It
was
trying
against
to rub
Denver
it in
the last
even
game
further, but
yeah.
I mean, the Monday night. Well, not the last game of the season though. I'm saying the Monday night game.
Oh, where he threw left-handed.
When he, I mean, you could just and that was such a tough because Denver's defense. I mean, was they were playing him so well that game, and he was having a pretty rough game. But I think just being able to overcome a little bit of adversity right there. And even before that though too, I mean, those first 2 weeks of the season, he had 10 touchdowns passing. So, he kind of had a target on his back already. And then to come out and, play that well, or, play that well down the stretch against Denver in that game. I think that moment I was actually at my sister's house watching that game, and I was driving back home, and I just kind of realized like this guy he's going to be the next thing.
I'm just really mad that no teams took him. I'm really mad at the Bears for not taking Mahomes. I really never forgive him. Now we got to face him twice in the division.
Yeah, well, and go back to your first point too. I mean, yeah, the first question. I mean, whenever they're trading up to get him. I mean, they traded up from 27 to 10, and I just tweeted out and I said, "Oh shit," because I knew exactly what they were going to, they're going after, they're going to try to go after probably Mahomes, but Watson was still right there too.
Yeah,
which, that would have been a great pick also. But,
so where do are you, me, Chiefs fans, they urge me, but where do you stand with like the dynasties? Are you all caught up? Are you like, oh, we're going to win 6, 7? Or are you kind of just like on to this year, 1 year at a time? Or are you kind of thinking ahead?
Well, I mean, it's, the thing about the NFL is that it's such a year-to-year thing. So, the Chiefs right now, they're in a great spot to, next 3 or 4 years, right? To really, try to go out and win at least hopefully 1 or 2 more. But after that, it's all about, how well you draft and how well you develop your players. And I think that, the bright side about it is that the Chiefs have done a really good job of that in recent years.
You really have.
That being said, though, too, you still have to go out there and do it. So, it's kind of it's all about player development, drafting well. But also, once you have guys that are, going to be, or are doing well, they're going to leave for free agency also too. So it's just always about, trying to retool and, but yeah, at the same time though too, I mean, yeah, they're definitely set up. I mean, they're probably the most set up team right now to, go out there and win a couple more. But, look at the 49ers. I mean, before last year, I mean, they were, they didn't make the playoffs, I don't think. And then they go to the Super Bowl and they're up 10 points with, in the fourth quarter. So, it's definitely a year-to-year thing. You can't. I just
gotta beat you one time this year. That's all I ask. We haven't beat you since the year we won the Super Bowl with that Jamaal Charles fumble. Remember? On Thursday Night Football. So it's been a long time.
Yeah.
So.
That was such a rough one too. My gosh. But I gotta show you. I gotta show you my shirt though, real quick. So because I was gonna wear my jersey, but got my Pat Mahomes shirt on right here.
Read it. What does it say?
It says, it says, I bet it feels amazing to be the quarterback who says, I'm going to Disney World after winning the Super Bowl. And it's a tweet, and it's from 2013.
Wow. Well, I got a Drew Lock jersey, okay? You win.
I had to. I was about to wear the jersey, but I was like, no,
that's pretty good. Okay, let's switch it to hockey really quick. We have a little rival. The Stars and Avalanche played last night, and I didn't think you guys were going to get past the Flames. I don't think you did, too. I mean, you were down 3-1. I texted you, and I go, it looks like we're not playing you. And then I jinxed myself, and then we lose game 1. So what are the chances you think you beat us? I think it's going to be game 6 or game 7. I think we're pretty even. What do you think?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, and you could just see it last night. I mean, that Nathan McKinnon was obviously the best player on the.
I think he's one of the best hockey players in the world. You got to make that argument. Top 3.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. I mean, I think it's really him and McDavid right now. So, but yeah, I think just having him alone for the Avs, and then but you also have that Kale Mac. I mean, I was so impressed with him last night too. He's in. He's a great player too. But the thing about the Stars, they're like the most mediocre good team I think I've ever seen. They started off the season 1-7, and they looked terrible. I mean, they were really bad. And then the next 2 months, they were the best team in hockey. I don't think people really realize that, but they were the best team in hockey for several months. Yeah, and then going into right before quarantine, they had they went 0-4-2, 2 overtime losses in there also. So they went in with an L6, going into quarantine or going into the suspension. Then they come out the first couple games within the round robin, and they were also terrible there as well. And but then Something kind of changed though, because whenever Alexiak scored that game winner against the Flames, ever since then their offense has really stepped up. They seem to be playing in more of a rhythm too. So I don't know. I think it's going to be a really, really good series. Going into this, I probably would have said Avs in 6, but now I'm thinking more Stars or Avs in 7. I think that's really kind of
I agree. And let's end with this. Talk some Dallas Mavericks. You guys are putting a fight against the Clippers. I mean, that's one series that you don't want to play, but you guys are fighting with them. Do you think you can make this series interesting, or do you think the Clippers are just too much?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they're too much. I really don't think Luka's going to play.
Yeah, he's really, and if he does, I mean, his ankle is in bad shape.
Yeah. And it's not worth it either. I mean, it's, going into this, we weren't looking to win, or we weren't going to win the series. It was more so just getting them really good playoff experience. And I think they really have. And that's the biggest thing for the Mavs, moving forward too. Because the thing that I really, really liked the other night was, Luka and KP. I mean, they're not going to back down. They're trying to get bullied. Morris and Harrell were really trying to bully them, which, that's,
and usually
that's
that would work with
get,
young players, but not with them.
Yeah. Yeah. And I mean, just seeing KP get right in, I think it was Harrell getting right in his face. I mean, after a rebound, I mean, it was, I was so fired up. I was like, man, this guy, this is a guy you want to have.
And you never want to lose a series, but it's just nice to know that you guys have a good future. You could go into next year like, okay, let's keep some of the bench. Let's add some more players. Maybe try to get like a B-type player on the wing,
Yeah,
I think they need to add
the one player Oh, go ahead. Okay. No, the one player that I would really like to have is Harrell. I mean, that's exactly who they, the type of player that they need. But also, too, they need that third piece, though.
Yeah, I think also, like a Chris Middleton type. Just like a Tobias Harris, someone like that kind of.
Yeah.
Well, awesome, Ryan. It was great talking to you, some sports, and I'll definitely have you on during the season. We'll talk some Chiefs Broncos. Hopefully, Broncos are not sucky and we can compete with you guys a little bit.
No, I definitely appreciate it.
Have a good one.
Thanks for having me.
Bye.
Dave's Denver Dose.
Okay, let's start with the Colorado Avalanche. They made it to the second round, and they lost to the Dallas Stars last night, 5-3. I'm not too worried about it. It's a long series. Our goaltending wasn't good, but I think we'll bounce back and win in 6. Like I said, they have the best chance to win championship out of any of the 4 sports teams. The Colorado Rockies. Remember 2 weeks ago when I said they're 10-3? Guess what they are now? 13-14, of course. They always do this to you, and you stop hyping it up. Colorado fans, we always hype them up, and then they just disappoint us. I'm just so over it. I don't even know if I want to watch another game. They got swept by the Astros and the Dodgers last night. Cody Bellinger had a solo home run against us, and of course the bullpen sucked again. Always the bullpen. The Denver Broncos still continuing training camp. Little small injuries. Hamler hurt his hamstring, so he's out 2 to 4 weeks. Todd Davis with a calf injury, so he's out like a week or 2. So I'm not too worried about injuries. Injuries always happen in training camps, so all you can wish for is that they're not season-ending injuries, and they're not, and they happen early rather than later. And knock on wood every day for injuries. And the Denver Nuggets, don't get me started on them. You got killed to the Utah Jazz, and then you lose by 37 or 36 or whatever it was. There's no excuse for that. I don't care who you are. I don't care if you're facing the dream team. There's no excuse to lose by that much. You're an NBA team in the playoffs, and you want to take the next step. I blame coaching. I blame players. It was just no effort at all. It was disgusting to watch. We'll tell a lot about our team tonight if we show up, because if we lose this game, it's over. There's no way you're going to come back, because the Jazz are just spanking you like they're their daddies, and they think you're babies. They're laughing at you, so you better show up tonight.
It's double take, Dave. It's double take, Dave. It's double take, Dave.